Welcome to Genius Insomniac and another episode of R.A.I.L.E.D. Today, Timmy's gonna help me with this episode. Shut up, your name is Timmy. Anyway, if you like any or all of this video, make sure to assault and abuse the like button. It looks like the thumbs up icon. Let's get started. Today's episode is about who versus whom, and which one is correct to use in a sentence. Let's start off. Who or whoever is always subject to a verb, and whom and whomever is always objective. A simple rule that always works is to substitute who or whoever with he or she, and to substitute whom or whomever with him or her. Let's try it out. Are you ready, Timmy? Okay, let's get to our first example. He cheated on his girlfriend, whom or who he didn't like anyway. So let's see which substitution we can use in this sentence. He didn't like anyway. We can add he didn't like her anyway. And since we're using her, we would use whom. So the sentence would go, he cheated on his girlfriend, whom he didn't like anyway. That's great, Timmy. Give yourself a thumbs up. Let's move on to the second example. Jill was cheated on by a man who or whom was already married. In this example, we can say he was already married. So since we're using he, we can use the word who. Jill was cheated on by a man who was already married. That's fantastic, Timmy. And you know what? It's that simple, boys and girls. Who or whom is as easy as substituting he or she or her or him. And since we got through that lesson so quickly, let's move on to some punctuation. Let's talk about those pesky quotation marks and whether or not punctuation goes inside or outside. A good rule to follow for periods and commas is that since we defeated this nasty group of redcoats years and years ago, we're not under British rule. So in America, we put periods and commas inside of quotation marks. Here's an example. Ron told Sue, quotation, just the tip, period, quotation mark. All or nothing, comma, quotation mark, Sue replied. Those crazy kids. That was easy, right, Timmy? Yeah, it better have been. Now, question marks are a little more tricky. They depend on if the whole sentence is a question or just part of it is a question. Let's try one out, Timmy. Joan asked Rebecca, have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey? Rebecca replied, did you think I got my chair steam cleaned for nothing? That Rebecca. Gotta love a girl with spunk, eh, Timmy? Yeah, that's right. The last simple rule of quotation marks, Timmy, is that semicolons, colons, Timmy, pay attention, asterisks, and dashes always go outside of the quotation marks. You got that, Timmy? Sure, I bet you do. Okay, Timmy, let's end today's lesson with a few words that might be used incorrectly especially on that tricky social media that these kids seem to love these days. Let's start with a couple of simple words. Lose or loose. Lose is to not win or misplace something. It's a verb. Loose means unbound or not tight. It's an adjective. Let's use it in a sentence. Rebecca is loose. But you already knew that, didn't you, Timmy? I know I sure did. Another tricky one for those out there in the social media world is the use of there, and there. Let's use them all in a sentence. Their use of the word there shows that they're not very smart. What do you think about that, Timmy? Yeah, you've said a mouthful. Let's try just a few more, Timmy. Okay. Affect versus effect. Let's use them in a sentence. An unplanned pregnancy will affect Jan's chances to go to college. The effect of an unplanned pregnancy is Timmy. Oh, shake it off. Our last example is two, and two. Let's use it in a sentence. We're going to buy a Plan B pill. That's where we're going to. Well, if you guys are going there now, can you pick up 2 for me? That's great. Okay, Timmy, I think that's enough for today. Let's wrap up this episode of R.A.I.L.E.D. And to those insomniacs out there listening, if you enjoyed any or all of this video, to make sure that you assault and abuse that like button like we said before. If you like the videos you see here on Genius Insomniac, make sure to subscribe. That way, you can get notifications whenever new videos are added to the channel. We appreciate your time today, and we hoped you enjoyed this episode of R.A.I.L.E.D. I know me and Timmy did. Make sure you follow Genius Insomniac at Tweet Insomniac on Twitter, and BZ Bets on Snapchat and Instagram. And as always, it's Bruce, the coolest nerd you know. Thank you. Goodbye.